Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Continuing Education Wellness Series. I'm Elisa Bonet, and today we have a fabulous guest who is also part of our team, Ray Schallmeyer, and he is a licensed clinical social worker in Portland, where I'm at, and the clinical director at Schallmeyer in Unlimited. And this is a private outpatient behavioral health organization which serves children, adults, and families throughout the Portland metro area. And Ray has integrated essential oils into his practice to support the wellness of his patients, their mental health, their emotional health. And I'm so excited that he is joining us today to present this very important topic that we all at some point or another can struggle with, which is stress, sleep issues, emotional support. And it's such an important topic, especially nowadays where we can all be struggling with one or all of these. And so I'm excited that Ray is here because he has extensive background in assisting others with these types of issues and is such an amazing person and has so much experience that it's truly an honor to have him here with us today to share his expertise and how he marries that with essential oils to support individuals. So welcome, Ray, and thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Elisa, for that glowing introduction. I really appreciated it. And I appreciate the knowledge and support around the business of doTERRA that you also offer back to me. I've just been so thankful to be a part of this team and the work that you're doing and sharing it back. It's really educated me quite a bit as well. So thank you very much. I want to say to everyone else, I welcome you here. I hope your day is going well. I hope we can make this informative as well as joyful for you as well. This presentation is on stress, sleep, and emotions. Like Elisa said, this is an area that I do a lot of work with the folks that I work with who are coming in for health and wellness services, whether it be mental health or behavioral health challenges that they're experiencing, whether it's a child, whether it's an individual, whether it's an adult, whether it's a couple or a family. Essential oils have become a real amazing part of the practice that we do because a lot of our work is around what we call natural solutions to optimal health. And being able to make this offering to folks is actually an enhancement to the work that we do. First slide, please. I want to start this out by asking a few questions, but before I ask a few questions, I want to just talk a little bit more about myself and my work, in that I use essential oils myself because I have found that the natural solutions, based on the other things that I would use in the past, like things to help me sleep, things to help my mood, things to give me a sense of wellness, really weren't working in the way that I needed. And a lot of them were synthetic. Even when I would go to like the Whole Foods and the New Seasons and try to get things, I could never be assured that the therapeutic level and the purity and the potency were actually what we're going to be, what I was going to be taking. But now with doTERRA and the essential oils and the CPTG and the potencies and the safety, all that's there for me. And I don't have to worry about that. I know I'm getting what I'm getting. I know I'm getting the best of the best and the most potent that I can actually have. So it gives me even more confidence as when I'm sharing with the folks that I work with on something that they can utilize. First question, I mean, really, how do you feel? Okay. How often are you aware of being stressed in your daily life? How concerned are you about the quality and quantity of sleep that you get? How frequently do your emotions feel difficult to manage appropriately? I mean, these are some of the questions that are key in your wellness, our wellness. And if we're not paying attention to them, what's happening is probably we're running on an automatic program, and we're having a lot of challenges with our sleep. We're constantly under stress, and we're just enduring in life, and we're not experiencing optimal health. If we are going to actually experience optimal health, feeling good, experiencing a great sense of aliveness, there are actually several areas that we need to make sure that we are putting ourselves on path to grow in. In our work, we have looked at 5 areas. Here we have 3 areas. We have spiritual health, we have body, our physical health, we have mind, our mental health. And I will also add in emotional health and socioeconomic health as signs for true wellness for any human being or human who wants to experience that greater sense of living. So our bodies are amazing, amazing creations. We have over 300 trillion cells in our body, and all except for maybe our blood cells have a DNA code in them that actually can make a new you. I mean, it's just amazing, the intelligence that our bodies are. And as part of that intelligence, our body has these receptor cells that pick up on information from our environment, from our emotions, how we experience time as well. And those signals that we are receiving are affecting us in one way or another. A lot of times they're affecting us in ways that we call free radicals and aging, which is causing our bodies to have a major stress reaction. And in that stress reaction, it could literally cause toxicity in the cells, and at that DNA level, cause us to produce a lower level of cell that we're losing, because we're losing billions of cells a day, but we're also making billions of cells a day. And in that process, you want your body to be renewing at a high rate versus continuing to decline. And this is what we call the aging process. When we get to a certain point in the signal in our body called DHEA starts to taper off. Most of us think of it in terms of antioxidants and things like that, that are oxidation, but it's more akin to this signal turning itself off and not being able to replicate at a DNA level the protein that the DNA produces to have a healthier cell than the one that we've lost. So these chemical signals that are going through our body, whether it be hormonal or biochemical, even pulsary, like if you take your pulse and you feel that beat, okay, that's another way that our body communicates, as well as there's an electrical or electromagnetic signal that goes through our body as well. So we have these 4 ways that our body is receiving information and responding or reacting to that information based on how we're receiving it. So there's a part in our brain, we call it the midbrain or the lizard brain, that houses a key component called the hypothalamus. This produces the hormonal signal in our brain that gives us the sensation of stress, okay? Because typically, whatever you're thinking, okay, that thought becomes a signal, and that signal becomes a sensation that we call a feeling or an emotion, okay? And I mentioned them before, the 4 ways those signals have, whether it be biochemical, hormonal, pulsory, or electromagnetic. And all of that is being signaled through the midbrain, or the lizard brain, we call it, when we are aroused. Like something hits you and says, wake up, Ray. You need to be on alert. It's time to run, fight, freeze, or flail, okay? And that's not a bad thing because, you know, we want to survive. But what becomes a challenge is that when the threat is over, our body should go back to some sense of stasis or balance or wholeness. That doesn't happen with humans, okay? We can have an incident, and that incident can last for hours, okay? And we can be in some type of mood for hours. Or we can have an incident, and that mood changes into a temperament because now that's same recurring feelings, same recurring thoughts have been happening for months on end. Or if I'm still not careful and I'm still operating from this incident for years, this could be actually become a personality trait for me. And now I'm just being whatever that stress is. And what that really is signaling that I've never really learned to keep that incident as an incident. Now that incident is controlling what's going on within inside of me. And that could enter in me being this irritable person, this depressed person, this person who has insomnia or headaches. I'm having autoimmune deficiency issues. I'm having high blood pressure or some other form of health problem. And you ask me what's going on, and I'm telling you, well, this thing happened to me a year ago, and I'm still bugged about it. I'm still having flashbacks or problems with it. What I'm really saying to you is that I haven't really learned to regulate what's going on within me, and something outside of me is continuing to determine what's going on within inside of me. So the cortisol, if it's never turning off, okay, which it should, like if the gazelle was being chased by the cheetah and it got away, okay, it immediately goes back to grazing and relaxing and getting back on track. With us though, what if that cheetah is actually your coworker, okay, or it's a family member, or it's someone driving in a car that you really can't get away from at that point. And you really can't fight, run, freeze, or flail out because it's just inappropriate. So you're carrying those thinkings, that thought, those sensations over and over again, over and over again, over and over again. What that is doing is putting a tremendous stress on your body. And you may have symptoms that make you feel like fatigue. I mean, if anybody's ever felt that heaviness in their head or in their eyes, you know, and you need coffee or something else to kind of wake you up, you know, thank goodness for peppermint. It's a great energizer. Are you having gut health issues? Or you just can't seem to lose those 5, 10, 20 pounds, you just keep coming? Are you having hypoglycemic reactions or hyperglycemic reactions with your blood sugar? With a lot of folks, as we get older into our 30s and beyond, we start having blood pressure issues. And you get into your 40s and 50s beyond, you start having libido issues, you know, which focuses on your relationships and puts a damper on your relationships. And of course, women begin to have cycle issues. And when we all have poor attention and concentration issues where, you know, you have something right on the tip of your tongue and you still can't get it out. All these are results of that constant pattern of thinking and feeling, feeling and thinking, thinking and feeling, feeling and thinking, that is just really wearing you down biologically. And it's really, really difficult to stop because it's unconscious. You're not even aware that you're doing it. You just feel tired, and that just feels like how it's going to be. So talking a little bit more about the chemical response, the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal response, so this cortisol, okay, it's being created by that signal for fight or flight, okay? And it's going on and on, and you're locked in. And even when you are having a good time, nothing's bothering you and whatnot, sometimes your body just seems to like have this feeling and you're sideways, okay? Because we don't recognize that it's unconscious. And this is how we've finally trained ourselves to be and not aware that we've been training ourselves with this thinking and feeling, feeling and thinking back and forth. So in that process, that training, your thoughts literally are making you sick. Okay. The question is, if my thoughts can make me sick, can they make me well? And the answer is emphatically yes. So we have to start talking about the three brains as well as the three minds. Okay. So you have your brain, okay, which actually does the work of the mind. Okay. And you have your heart, which actually does the work of your emotions. Okay. And you have your digestive system, which actually does the processing work of the three. If you can change your thought, okay, that thought to a different signal, it will start the process of your heart changing the signals that it's sending through your body, which again will change the signal that your digestive system is getting, okay? So we know there are a couple things going on, okay? When we start talking about sleep, we start talking about alertness and concentration, we're talking about two chemicals. One is called melatonin, the healing chemical that allows you to relax and sleep and rest, and serotonin, the energizing chemical that allows you to be alert, focused, and ready to go. 90% of serotonin actually lives in our gut, our intestine area. And doing the work to allow that to open up allows it to go to the brain when it's time to be up. But also, if you're not sleeping or anything, then you're probably not producing the melatonin that you need to help your body relax and go back to stasis and start to heal. A lot of what stress does is that it keeps us in what we call a brainwave pattern. If you can go to the next slide, I would appreciate it. It keeps us in a brainwave pattern of what we call high beta state. Okay, and that brainwave pattern actually is a shutdown of all the other systems other than things that are about survival. And survival is really about expelling energy. When we're sleeping and relaxing, that becomes about receiving energy. If you can go to the next slide. So the power of emotion is understanding this, okay? My brain is like an artifact. Okay? Everything I think, everything I feel, everything that I've experienced kind of gets locked in to there, okay? If I'm going to seek optimal health or wellness, I must get myself to move from this artifact of remembering everything that is happening to creating things that I really want to happen, okay? And that will produce a different energy, a different brainwave activity, and cause me to actually make a biological change from there. Okay. Next slide, please. So this energy piece, okay, when you understand that everything is energy, and matter is just another form of energy, okay, what you want to do then is understand, how do I use the energy formula to cultivate that for myself? You know, the human body's operating at 62 to 70 megahertz. What does that mean? Well, you have an energy signature in you, and it fluctuates based on the vibration that's coming from your mind through your body. You have an electromagnetic field through you, and it can be as small as the width of your chest, or as far as 3 meters wide. And if you can learn to master yourself, okay, and become more aware of the energy that you are and how you experience that energy, you can move yourself to a higher level of living. Next slide, please. So we know this, 85% of humanity is below that 200 mark, because we're constantly under stress. We're constantly dealing with environmental threats. We're constantly dealing with things outside of us, and we lack the skill at this point to internally generate. Okay, so we actually need some support to give us what we call bandwidth to begin to take this technology and use the skill to develop ourselves internally. Most of us operate from an outside in, so the environment is affecting us more than anything. What we need to be able to do is operate from an inside out, where we affect the environment we're in. Next slide, please. Like I said earlier, Einstein said this too: everything is energy. And if you can understand that you actually are a vibrational being, and there's different frequencies that you can operate on, you can move yourself. So I mentioned this earlier. We start out at high beta. So this is the stress. We're stressing out, okay? And then we move to what we call beta, okay? And we're still stressed, but we're more capable of interacting and participating in our world at this point without the fight or flight response, constantly going off. And then we can go into low beta, which makes us feel a little bit more relaxed, but we still have an intenseness about us. And then we come home and we watch a little TV, and that puts us into alpha state, okay? Alpha state is that vibration that is very suggestible, okay? And I mentioned something earlier where I talked about not just the 3 brains, but the 3 minds. And this is important because those 3 minds operate on frequency, okay? The first mind is the conscious mind. And the second mind is the analytical mind. And the third mind is the unconscious mind. Humans operate about 95%, if not more, from the unconscious mind. So that means we have these automatic processes that take over in our body, like our breathing, our heartbeat, and our reactive state to our environment. Automatically, our body says, let me take over some of this, because you have to think about this over and over again. You would not survive. I know if I had to think about my heartbeat every single second of the day, I wouldn't be here, because I forget everything in general, okay? So we have this ANS, autonomic nervous system, that supports us in that. The problem is, if we have habits that aren't supportive of our wellness, if we've learned things like limiting beliefs, or have systems of of unhealthy ways that we interact, we'll just continue to repeat that over and over and over. And we'll do it without even knowing. We'll just be in that place again and go, gosh, I'm here again. It's like driving home that you, and next thing you know, you're in your driveway or going through your garage if you park in your garage. And you realize, gosh, I didn't remember any of that drive, but I'm at home. The analytical mind is the part of the brain that actually is what we call your personality, what we call your ego, and it's usually a block between your conscious mind. So if 95% of your behavior is unconscious, then we're only doing 5% at max of conscious behavior. And if you understand these frequencies, what you want to do is get yourself to enter into theta frequency. And that frequency releases the analytical mind and lets your conscious mind communicate directly to your unconscious mind. Okay, and this is important because your conscious mind is the part of you that really is trying to help you be well, be healthy. Okay, understand what I'm saying and using these different products to help you get to that vibration. The roles, and I tested that myself and I really enjoy it. I use a lot of frankincense as well as sandalwood, and just to create the atmosphere so that I can automatically get myself into that frequency. Now I'm a little different because I know what I'm doing, and so I'm doing it with intention. If we were to do this on our own, you know, a little counsel would be helpful, but the same effect. It will help you move yourself to the frequencies that are actually will help you be healthy. Next slide, please. So I'd like you to take a minute or so and write down the things that you would like to be experiencing differently. Would you like more energy? Would you like to sleep better? Would you like to turn off the analytical mind? Would you like to lose weight? Would you like to learn how to center and balance yourself? Just take a few minutes and write those down. If you can go to the next slide, I'd appreciate it. And as we go through, feel free to take a snapshot from here on out, because I'm going to try to move through a little quicker than I've been going. So feel free to take a snapshot of these, because now we're going to move into, so what can support us in getting to optimal health? doTERRA has come up with some amazing blends that will help you energetically get to those frequencies. So now you can interpersonally and intrapersonally begin to do the work that allows you to do the internal generating for yourself. Yes, it is an external thing that you're using internally, but it's one of those internal things that actually will support your wellness. You know, so we're on the spectrum. You know, we have fatigue and stress. We have no peace to passion. And the folks at doTERRA have been really strategic in being able to create blends for us, like Serenity, that will support your calming effect. And Citrus Bloom, which I absolutely love, is a very, very stimulating and motivating oil. I diffuse it a lot. Elevation, I actually use Elevation, Anchor, Align, and Arise as part of my meditations, and then Balance. I try to share that a lot with folks who have anxiety, because you want to get your grounding, you want to be able to get out of that high beta state. And this is a way to energetically do that, putting a little behind your ear or on your feet or something that will allow you to have that sensation, you know, of calmness. So the oils have this, this pattern: citrus, spices, the trees, the florals, the mints, you know, all of them create that refreshing, energetic, and grounding effect energetically in us. And Motivate is another one that I share with adults and kids, because sometimes the kids who are like, they have challenges with attention, and it's really depressing for them because they can't complete or make a lot of mistakes. I get them to motivate, and it focuses them, and they can get things done. And adults as well. I'm working with a woman right now that had been super depressed, and we've been trying cheer with her in her diffuser, and she seems to be enjoying that. She still has a lot of other things going on, but this has been a really good step in the right direction. And then Console has been another one of my favorites. Console, another one of my favorites, because it gives you a real sense of comfort. Your body just kind of like settles in when you have it, and you go, yeah, okay, I can do this, you know. Next slide, please. Adaptive. Adaptive is another one that I love to use for folks who are having anxiety and depression, because it kind of gives you a balance for any situation. You need to get moving. Adaptive is helpful. You need to slow yourself down a little bit. Adaptive is helpful. And most folks are using adaptive, and they feel that they can handle things because they're a little bit more calm. They feel a lot more relaxed. It gives you, it says mental wellness here, but my experience and the folks that I work with, they talk about, I feel a little bit more clear now, you know, and I don't feel so up and down anymore. I feel like I can have a conversation. I can remember what I'm saying and what people are saying to me. And like I said earlier, folks say they feel like they can handle things more. Next slide, please. The oils that are part of adaptive, I keep them all. The lavender, the coriander, the wild orange, which has just a beautiful fragrance to it as well. So it just lights up the room. And fennel, GABA, okay. That's a very relaxing neurotransmitter. You have that in your system, okay, you're feeling really, really no physical strain. It really makes you feel like, okay, I can go with ease. The ahi flower is another one of those that supports brain health, the omegas that are in there. And the skelotium, it seems to make you feel a little bit more like, okay, my shoulders aren't as tense anymore. I don't feel as heavy anymore, you know, I don't feel run down. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Diffusing. You may want to take a picture of this. I just want to talk a little bit about that. Diffusing is an atmosphere changer, okay? It's an environmental enhancer, not just from the free radicals and anything, but actually the energy in the room changes. And you want to be really consistent about that with the rooms that you're in mainly, and as well as through your whole home or wherever you're dwelling. Because if you can consistently affect your environment, then you can have good feedback that's generating between you and your environment. And you're not having to go so much and be triggered so much by the the environment and things outside of you, because we have these three areas that I think I mentioned earlier, where it's our bodies, it's our environment, and how we experience time. And the more that we can be the effectors of the environment, the less that the environment is going to be the triggers of what's going on with us. Next slide, please. All of these are different ways that you can help yourself get better sleep and not just increase your stress tolerance, but get more energetic and balance yourself. Waking up consistently at the same time. Every day, even on the days that you would normally have a sleep in or whatnot, the research out there is showing that those of us who have a routine, steady time that we get up, even if we're going to take a nap or something later in the day, have that time that you get up regularly and you make that a habit. Of course, everybody knows that our diet affects us, you know, caffeine, alcohol, sugar, and artificial ingredients are really taxing on us. So eat as natural as possible. Even, and we saw this in one of the slides about meats, you know, so if you're someone who needs a lot of melanin, you know, produces a lot of melanin, you want to go as natural as possible, because some of these other things block our ability to produce the melatonin in our system. So the more natural you're gonna, now I'm not saying everybody needs to go vegan, but the less meat, red meat, any kind of meat that you can eat, the better for your body, especially when it comes to digestion and the energy signature that you are taking in your system. Because what you have to know is that whatever your body takes in, that becomes your body. Like you eat a banana, okay? Within about 24, 25 hours, that banana becomes you, okay? So if you're eating live foods, okay, then you're generating energy for yourself. But if you're eating non-live foods, okay, and typically meat is one of those things that is not alive when we eat it, you're creating a density, and now that is draining your body, okay? Because now the wave signature from that, which is very low, is draining your body down. You want to put the things in your system that puts your body up. Exercise, as we know, even if you're doing, you know, 30 minutes to an hour of some kind of cardio and stretching kind of exercise, even if you like Qigong or Tai Chi on a daily basis, you're really making a difference for yourself. But if you're doing 3 to 5 times a week, 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed, so you don't, because that'll keep you from sleeping, you'll see a big difference within just a couple short weeks too. And then limiting this electromagnetic energy that you get from these your TV and the screens that we have, because they're emitting an energy, and that's directly affecting that hypothalamus and your pituitary and your energy signature. So do that when we have these screens on, it puts us into alpha state, which is our suggestible state. Okay, you want to not be locked in the alpha, and you want to be in theta, so you can start affirming what you want. Okay, and then moving into delta for you to sleep, and then to gamma for you to heal. Okay, and then waking up, it just reverses from gamma to delta to theta to alpha to low beta to beta to high beta. Some more things that we can do that would help support healthy sleep. Okay, keep the room cool. Okay, a hot room, you're going to toss and turn, probably sweat. If you can cut out noise, earplugs, and even if you can cut out light, okay, because we were made to sleep in complete darkness. So if you have a visor or something like that, you could wear it. It actually works, because you're not getting the signal from the sun that your brain is picking up saying it's time to get up and go. Okay. Turn your alarm clock in a space where you can actually, or get an Alexa and tell her when to turn on and turn off. Of course, your bedding, you know, make sure you got a good pillow, clean bedding. Please avoid drinking water, because your digestion will start to get you to want to eliminate within a 5 to 6 hour period. And if you did something like 9 to 10 o'clock, you know, 4 or 5 in the morning, your body's saying, wake up, we gotta go. Next slide, please. Also, what wasn't mentioned is that if you could do 15 to 30 minutes of just mindfulness, relaxing your body, releasing the day, you know, kind of rehearse a little bit what you would do better that you didn't get done today, okay? You will notice that if you have, say, like weird dreams or recurring dreams, and a lot of folks were telling me that during COVID, that those things will actually subside, because we spend a lot of time ruminating things that we don't even know about. And then when we go to sleep, all defenses are down, and now that stuff is shooting up in real vivid color. So if you can do a little mindfulness work where you're trying to release the energy that that high beta state had created during your day, and relax yourself, not only will you sleep better, you'll feel better coming out of it. So Serenity, the Serenity combo that we have, wholesale is $45. Serenity is really helpful for your sleep pattern. I mean, if you have your rhythm is off right now, where you know you're staying up late and sleeping long, or you're sleeping during the day, or you just really can't sleep, a supplement like Serenity will actually help you get your rhythm back. But you have to set a time that you want to do it, and probably take it, you know, 30 minutes or so before you actually want to go to sleep. So I would take it and do a little mindfulness work, turn on some ambient music or put some headphones on, and just let myself go and have a great sleep cycle. One to 2 drops on the bottom of your feet, 3 to 5 drops in the diffuser, 10 to 15 drops on your pillow in a spray, and an Epsom salt bath with some baking soda. All these will be amazing remedies for you, because remember, when you do the work to relax your body, okay, it sends a different signal to your brain to slow down. Now you don't have that negative communication coming from your body back to your brain, and you're not in that loop anymore. So taking care of your body first is what I try to get folks to kind of take heed to, and then we start taking care of what's going on with us environmentally, you know. And if you just did that in a body scan on a regular basis, just pay attention to how the energy is flowing to your body. How do my eye sockets feel? How does my shoulders feel? So forth and so on. You'll notice that you have constant tension, that if you then, when you notice it, just say, okay, let me relax. Let me sit back and breathe, okay? You know, everything starts with the breath. And when you do that, you can start training yourself or retraining yourself to get into alignment. A nightly regimen, okay? Serenity gels, Copaiba. And Copaiba will actually create a really soothing sensation inside you, especially if you have any kind of internal um, challenges like pain. If you have some Copaiba with a mix of Serenity, that's a good nightly regimen to get you to sleep. You know, again, setting a regular time that you're going to go to bed and take it about 30 minutes before you go to sleep. And then some alternatives, adaptive with Copaiba and Yaropalm. I like Yaropalm. I had a bath salt like Yaropalm, and I put it in my my little tub one day, and it just, my whole body was relaxing. You couldn't move me from anything after sitting in there for about 20, 25 minutes. Now, the rollers, okay, frankincense. Frankincense is one of those ancient oils that I just absolutely love because it does so many things, and it is so soothing, but it's also so healing. Okay, vetiver is a really good one for focus and concentration. A lot of the kids that I work with, their parents who want natural solutions, I always recommend vetiver for them to, you know, help them focus and complete their homework and get their chores and things done as well. Besides telling them to limit that screen time for those kids as well. Bergamot, another one that I like, is one of the first oils when I started with doTERRA that I ordered for myself because I like taking it and just having myself feel like relaxed, especially after a day where, you know, maybe I worked from 4 a.m. and now it's 9 p.m. and I still not ready to go down. And I know I'm going to get back up at 4. I'll take some bergamot. And then the Roman chamomile. I don't do a lot of that. I'm working on working with that a little bit more. When I use it, I use it more as I roll it on, and you know, so I want to get more into that because I'm actually looking at, you know, using these in combinations as well. So here's a sample wellness box that we have for $145. I think it's a great box to have in your cabinet, you know, just for, you know, getting yourself balanced, keeping yourself energized and centered. Started in the morning, you know, maybe another little bit in the late afternoon, and our before bedtime would be a good thing. Now, I personally, I have not just a morning regimen with mindfulness and Qigong and Tai Chi and all those things, have an evening regimen that includes that as well, you know. So I'm creating the day in the morning and I'm evaluating the day in the evening. And I'm just trying to see if I have a chance to do this all over again tomorrow, what changes I'm going to make that I didn't, so I don't keep repeating the same day over and over again. So 3 ways to share. If you want to get your products for free, maybe you want to share with a friend. You can connect with us or whoever invited you in, and have friends get this type of presentation, get this type of knowledge as well, and sample for those friends. You can enroll one, okay, and that will help you make a little extra money. Or you can become part of a team and start creating a community like what I'm trying to do, which is why I really brought this into my my organization, because I have a community there already, and I just want to start sharing with each and every one of them, so we all have a community that's and practices and a culture of wellness. And that also is going to help create and can possibly replace income. This is really very easy. You know, sharing with folks. So if you're a natural sharer, you know, you want other folks to get well, you know, you're taking these products yourself first and you're getting the results. It's like a natural to just, you know, do that with folks that you care about, and let them have these wonderful experiences as well. And share with them, you know, how safe, how effective, you know, how affordable these things are. And then begin to build your system for wellness. Lastly, this organization is not just amazing because it has these amazing oils and things that we can use to help ourselves get to optimal health. This organization has a worldwide reach into communities that typically get taken advantage of, and now it partners with and full-fledged, so that we not only can have the best of the best, but there's reciprocity, true reciprocity, with everyone having the best of the best. So they're not just exploiting poor folks in poor countries. They're working with folks to actually become prosperous together. You know, and that was like the thing that really took me over the top, because I really was just looking for, you know, the best of the best in the products, but I have this this global impact that I want, you know, especially for people of color around the globe, because I think this planet gives us everything. It literally makes this food for us, and there's no reason that each and every one of us shouldn't live with optimal life and optimal health. So when I'm connecting to communities that have that same value, have that same vision, we can work together.